I don't like editing as much. If I felt I could trust other people with the editing and I could afford it, then I would probably be paying someone else to do that. But for now, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a weird fine line kind of a thing. Mostly in the hyperbolic status because when I'm in front of a camera, I'm doing a performance. Yeah, there you go. Back over to this side.
Maybe you could afford it for
Right in front of you. I bought that at a convention just for like $5 because it was like a Kid Flash themed thing. I thought it was cute, and I just thought, why not just for a gag? I'll pull out this clock instead. I think also I might have misplaced the Miller Time watch. It happens sometimes. So yeah, I just thought it would make for a funny little gag, because a lot of the humor that I like to do is, and writing-wise too, is about playing with audience expectations. You set up something that you think is going to happen more and more times, and then you just throw them a curveball on occasion, and people don't expect it, and it's fun. I love it. Back over this side, blue shirt.
Me?
Yep.
Okay, great questions. First off, what do you think an adult fourth wall video game should be like?
I would imagine very similar to AVGN Adventures, kind of a platformer kind of a thing, maybe a first-person shooter.
What?
I would imagine probably like if I had like a story just off the top of my head, maybe someone took control of Vice's shades in another dimension and like was planning to use them to conquer another world or something like that, and Linkara was contacted to go and help them, and Linkara, being a nice enough guy, goes and helps. And like, and if we were doing a first-person shooter, he would collect various different kinds of weapons from this world. Maybe find some more of his stuff. The base weapon would be the magic gun, but like then you would have like some kind of rocket launcher, a more shotgun-style weapon. But of course, make them all cool and futuristic and weird kind of things. Maybe some kind of organic weapon.
What about RPG?
RPG. No, an RPG atop the fourth wall. Depends on what style of RPG. If we were going like Final Fantasy style, we'd probably have like some of the other side characters who would also be there. Like 90s Kid and Harvey would have their own special abilities. Harvey would have auditory-based attacks. Kind of like being a mage, except in his case, as being a mage, he casts like singing spells. He's a bard. He's a bard. There you go.
Spoony bar.
And 90s Kid would just be the tank. He would be able to take a lot of hits, and he would pull out huge, powerful weapons, like this is the most awesome, hugest guns ever!
What about Snowflame?
Snowflame!
And Snowflame, of course. Snowflame would be a boss. Where you have two ways of defeating him. If you remembered to collect the cocaine you found in like a secret hidden room, you could throw that at him and defeat him in one blow. Or you have to go the harder route. I would want to have like branching possibilities for how to defeat enemies. Some of the ways are easier, do Mega Man style. Some ways are easier than others.
10 out of 10, good play.
Let's see, was it this side that I had? Or this side?
This side.
This side.
Is this side?
No, left.
Okay, so that's actually this side. You sir in the middle there with your hand up. Yep.
You got mixed.
Walking around the convention, I saw somebody who was wearing a blue lantern outfit. I thought Poke Ranger for some reason. And now you know that. The crossover that you were talking about with Planet of the Apes, is that the weirdest crossover? Is that the weirdest crossover you've ever come across?
Honestly, I think the Planet of the Apes and Alien Nation one is the weirdest crossover I've ever seen. Yeah, the Archie and Predator one, it's that kind of thing in that same vein as Archie versus the Punisher, where it's clearly done as a joke. And yet they take it completely seriously. But otherwise, yeah, the Ape Nation, I think is what it's called, and it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, just because you would never ever think of combining these two properties together. I'm still waiting for Star Trek versus Star Wars.
He didn't do anything wrong. He just got mixed
It
up.
writes itself here! Or at least, it writes its own paycheck is what I'm saying, because everybody would buy it.
Problems are all by
You just look at how successful Doctor Who and Star Trek The Next Generation were. People like seeing, their favorite sci-fi series together, and Star Trek vs. Star Wars is the classic battle, nerd fight of all time. With Stargate over on the side saying, "We're here too." There's a marathon all of Stargate, and it's awesome.
And for some reason, Star-Lord's in it.
And by the way, we will probably get some Stargate comics in the future as a result of that.
Fargate.
All right, back over to the side. You
It is a Fargate.
That's funny.
Usually the weirdest ways, because it's rarely ever that I get like the direct writer or artist to comment on reviews. Usually it's someone tangentially related. For instance, I heard secondhand that one of Frank Miller's inkers had seen my Dark Knight Strikes Again reviews and loved them. And said that he too was having a difficult time trying to get the work done properly. The cover artist to Nightcat saw my review and loved it, especially because I was so because I praised the cover so much. So yeah, Devin Grayson, the writer of my favorite run of the Titans, including Titan/JLA, the Technics Imperative, my favorite comic of all time. She has seen those reviews, she loves those, and that just warmed my heart. I think Gail Simone has seen a few of my reviews back in the day too, which that also makes me happy. So yeah, it's very rare to have the actual writers and artists comment on it. Usually someone just weirdly tangentially related, otherwise I'm completely ignored by the industry, which is probably for the best. Alright, let's go in the back again, back there, yeah. Can you speak a little bit? I actually can't hear you very well. No. Usually I am of the attitude of, clearly, if I got this far, if I'm doing this work along the way, I will notice that something is wrong or something is bad about it. The only weird exceptions to that have been in the past when I used to bring my episodes over to my parents' place, which, as you've seen, has been less of a thing lately because I've been late with so many episodes as of late, and I am so sorry about that. But yeah, I would bring it over to their place, and they would comment and say, "This is not funny," which happened like 2 or 3 times before, where we would sit and argue about whether or not the episodes were funny. Sometimes they're right, usually they're wrong. For example, they thought the Batman Fortunate Son review was too ranty, and that people would absolutely hate it. That everyone would hate that review, would absolutely loathe it, and this would be the thing that would break me and get people to stop watching me. Batman Fortunate Son was one of my most popular reviews at the time, which is one of the reasons why I continually reference Batman's hatred of rock and roll. Another example was the Marvel review. Where the first Marvel review, because they got some of the in-jokes that the comic was telling when I didn't.
Yeah.
And while they admitted that it still wasn't funny, they thought that my jokes in response weren't funny enough, and that someone out there would defend it, so I should, try to prepare myself for that. And nobody did. Nobody defended Marvel.
Why would they?
Another 6 minutes here. Back over this side. You and the Cubs.
Yay. I'm sure you talked about it, but what did you think about the new Power Rangers movie? And should they go with the sequel?
I think they should go with the sequel. I actually like the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Yay!
If you want to see full thoughts on that, instead of doing a proper review
much Power Rangers, though.
Brad Jones invited me down to Springfield to do a midnight screening with him. So we immediately saw it, and then went to his car and talked about it. I tell a lie. We didn't first do that. We saw Chips first. And did a midnight screenings on that too. Who here's ever seen Chips before the TV series? What? Yeah, the movie's nothing like it. Chips is bad.
Chimps.
No, we could have
California Highway Monkey
and seen
Patrol.
like Long Skull Island. That was out at the time. I hadn't seen it. He had seen it. But we could have had a double feature of giant monsters. No, Chips.
We're out of power.
Okay, you
But
can
yeah,
turn
the
off.
2013 Power Rangers movie was actually